Hi guys, I'm Donette and welcome to my live. I am extremely excited to be here. I'm still fighting to find energy after 2 weeks of work, and definitely after my husband left, I've just been trying to kick in and do as much as possible to help clean up the little things that we left undone, primarily because either he couldn't get it done or because we just couldn't get to it because we've been doing so much. So I'm Donette and welcome to my live. So my live or my posts are all about repatriation into your home country, not to stay abroad and, just, get into the grind of life every single day. So I've been abroad for about 36 years. So I basically grew up overseas. But I came back to Guyana and I've been coming back. So don't get me wrong. I've been coming back since I was 15 years old. I've been coming back. So it's not, something that wasn't embedded within me. So, but I am encouraging you to repatriate back to your country and to make a difference in the communities which you guys live in, your respective communities. And in my case, as I always say, it's Guyana, and I am from Linden Town, or grew up in Linden Town before I went abroad. And this is where I want to make a difference. And so I do want to start off by saying thanks to my husband, big time, super cool guy, came down, killed it from day one. I mean, every single day. He was here for about 2 weeks, and every single day he was out here working on this property. And I've been here 2 years, and I know how hard it is. But I don't have that limited time as he does. So when he comes in, it's to work, and he literally did not leave the property until one day he went outside. I was saying this yesterday in another vlog. He went outside just because the fire that we were burning some cardboards and everything got out of control. So he went out to try to suppress that fire with the fire extinguisher, which didn't work. We had to call the fire truck. So I will never do that again. And sometimes I've been burning my garbage for a bit now, but I am gonna, I just got a garbage company, and they're gonna be collecting because now I'm using more things, and I don't want to keep dumping and burning. I would rather do it the right way. But I don't even know what they do with the garbage. I think I do a better job burning it. But anyway, I hope they are responsible enough that they take the garbage and they dump it correctly. And the government has, or the state or the city has ordinances which have them operate within those parameters that allows them to go and dump the garbage and to protect the environment in the right ways. I don't know what they do with it. I felt kind of responsible for my garbage, so I would always get the guys to take it out and they burn it. Anyway, with that being said, the last set of things we burnt was because of the fact that we had so many cardboards and everything else, boxes and so on that we shipped in, that we used to ship things in, and we had to burn those things because, of course, Guyana doesn't have a recycling program, and of course, here in Linden doesn't, that I know of, and I'm pretty sure I'm right that there is none, right? Because no one has, no one even focuses on that. Anyways, what I do want to say is that fire got out of control, and there's a lady's house not far from there, so I felt really responsible for getting that fire truck out. Thank you, big up to the fire truck, or the I would say that the unit, for responding as fast as they did. Honestly, literally, I called them, and within about 8 minutes or so, they were here. I called them back because I was so panicked, So the girl and the operator said, "Listen, they're on their way." So they came out and they did their thing, battled the fire because the brushes were so dry, and that's the reason why they had to, that's the reason why it got out of control. But they battled it with their spades and their shovels at first, and then they just kind of went in with water after. So thank you guys so much for responding as quickly. That's the Linden Fire Truck Unit here on Wisma, I believe they are. So thanks again. Anyways, so I am excited that my husband came in and helped. And I just had some ice cream to give me some energy, because I'm telling you, the man wore me down. I mean, I thought I had energy. That man has some energy. And he literally came in and just did so much work within so little time that he had, and has the property looking all renewed and just refreshed all over again. From painting to power washing the building, to painting the fences, or putting primer on the fences, so that it looks better, and then it makes it easier to paint. Painting the septic tank area. He had someone do that, as I said yesterday, but painting the tank area. Painting even where I take a bath, because I have to freshen up before customers come, and a lot of times I'm working on the property, so I definitely, well, all the time I'm working on the property, so I definitely always need a bath before I open up. So I just take a bath. I've learned how to take good baths outdoors in Guyana, because I don't have a shower over here just yet, so I have to learn how to stand in my bathing suit thingy and just do my thing. It's important that we smell good and look good when customers arrive, right? So, or anyhow, it doesn't matter. You still need to look and smell good. And then on top of that, sometimes I go out, of the facility, and I get things done, and I go directly from here. Or most of the times I'm leaving from my grandma's, but of course there I get to take a shower. Anyways, with that said, let me see. Finding motivation is why I'm here to talk to you today. Finding motivation, and I'll tell you what. I am one of the most motivated people that you will find. I have energy. I'm very cognizant that my energy will come off, in terms of my to my customers, as well as to my workers, or the people I work with, and my including my contractors, right? And whenever I hire people, so I am very conscientious that energy is important. That what you give out is what you put in is what you will also give out. So I'm that positive person. I have energy to compete for a lifetime. But I have to say to you that today I found it incredibly hard to even get on here. And I found it hard to do it because I'm so tired, I'm exhausted. So after everything that my husband and I did for the past 2 weeks, I was still working after he left. So I ended up yesterday not only painting or finishing up I finished up the balcony, painting it black, of course, and the stairs. I had to finish those two projects. Then I had to, rush out the day before when he left. I had to get all the chairs and everything and the tents out of the way, because I told him not to move it, because I wanted to use it Sunday night and Saturday night, and Sunday he didn't have enough time to do it. Or Monday morning, I'm sorry, that was actually Sunday. I told him not to do it, and Monday morning he didn't have enough time to help me, so I had to literally go out there and do this on my own. So I had to get those chairs folded, get the covers off, because they had been wet by the rain, and got the tents folded. And I could wait on someone to help me, but let me say something. If you are not out here and underground with your stuff and doing what you need to, you're going to find it a very, very treacherous road to walk. All right? You have to be able to do things on your own. So yes, I am not this big, strong person, but there are certain things that most of the times I can do most of the things that I need to do. Getting the fence and getting the tents folded up. It's not hard to release those buttons, let it fall down to the ground, and then those clips, and let it fall, and then you just push it all together. I couldn't really move them, so because I didn't want it to risk it, so I asked my husband to do that. I folded the chairs and I placed them back. So I made sure that he did those before he left. But the chairs I knew I could handle. I got the chairs into the storage because that's where they needed to be. It was about 10 chairs. He cleaned out the storage, organized it, tip top shape. I swear I can find everything. It's in a nice semi square position around the storage, everything I can see. Oh God, the man worked. Okay, he worked his butt off. So I am so thankful. So that motivation is where, to find that motivation is absolutely important. So I am this positive person, like I said, but there are days when it's hard, when your energy is low, like today. I had some ice cream because I needed something to, some sugar in me, something to help me out, because I found that I was very lethargic. And after doing all that work, and then yesterday I spent the entire day washing, because all that stuff that I had outdoors, I needed to wash them, the chair covers, the table covers, the napkins, everything else. So I needed to wash those things. Can I pay someone to do it? Yeah, I can. But you know what? If you can do it yourself, and if you have the energy to, you can save your money that way. And it's not only that. I have someone who really is very helpful to me, but I don't really, last time I asked her to do some, the past couple of times, she did it and she didn't want to be paid, because I always give her things. But, I felt so bad, and I'm like, I can't go ask her again, because I'm afraid she'll refuse the money again, and then I feel bad, even worse, that she wants to do it without pay. So I said, no, it's all right. So I did it, because I usually wash my clothes myself anyway. So, and of course, it's just putting it in the washer, and, letting it air dry, because the dryer that my brother has is one of the little spin ones, and it just spins the clothes really nicely, and the washer is really decent size. So I have to send down a machine, washer and dryer. And I had one here. I had a dryer here, but I think the voltage wasn't in comparison to the overseas at the time, and so therefore it ended up just going to waste. Because it just wouldn't get hot enough. And I've had that here for about maybe 8 years. I don't even know where it is, honestly. It's probably sitting under my granny's house. I haven't noticed it, because I'm not looking for it. But either way, I definitely have found that finding motivation is key. So what I do is I look at vlogs, and I look at what people are doing in Ghana, for example, and how Americans are going overseas and they're building overseas. So I look at a lot of Ghanaian vlogs, Ghanaian vlogs, and I help myself that way. I stay motivated through, watching at other black women who are doing their thing, or other women who are doing their thing, and particularly black women. And, I don't mean to sound anyway, but the reality of it is that, looking at another black woman doing their thing helps me out. So, it doesn't help me out as much when I view other folks, or when I view, a man or whatever it is. And it's not taking anything away, but it's just, there's something extra about watching a black woman succeeds that makes me feel good, and or watching a woman succeed. But in particular, I gain energy from watching black women do their thing. So, and I'm not afraid to say that, because I don't mean it anyway. Like I said before, I'm one of the most accepting and, multicultural, and, just very, very civil about how I treat other people from different races and different culture and different religions and thought processes that they may have about different views in this life, and how they view the world, period. So I am very accepting, and as a professor you have to be that way. So, but it's just something about watching another black woman do their thing that makes you feel good, and makes you feel like you can do it too, right? So not taking, or throwing shade at anyone else, just making sure that you understand that this is where I gain my energy, right? So I watch other women, other black women do their thing on YouTube and so on. I find motivation through when I motivate other people. People come here and they get inspired by my work on the venue, and they love it. They compliment me. They say they've just never seen anything like it here in Linden Town, and they love the culture here. They love the vibes here. They appreciate it. Every once in a while, you have customers who come. I think it's just not their space, and it's okay. Up to last night, I had, a couple of folks came in and they weren't vibing. They asked to change the music, and I don't change my music for anyone. You don't go other places and ask them to change their music. Why are you asking me to change my music, right? Even if you go to a dance with DJs, you don't go tell them they'll change your music so that whatever it is. You can request a song, and I certainly do honor when people ask me to play a song. So don't get me wrong, but I had to stop that and nip that in the butt because I got people who came and this person wanted this, that person wanted that, and I'm not a DJ, and I'm not here to please one person. I'm here to please the entire crowd, right? And I am not a DJ sitting at a business or going to a business and performing and doing my music. I am here to run my business, and I would appreciate it when you come as a customer if you just listen to the vibe. You don't go to Hard Rock and ask them to change their music. You don't go other places and ask them to change their music. You don't even go to Five Corner and ask them to change their music, or Four Corner, Three Corner, whatever corners there are. You don't go there and ask them to change their music. So please, I'm begging, if you know people who like to do that, it's just so insulting. It's almost like telling you, like, your vibe isn't right, and you need to change this or change that. And again, I play with the crowd. Like, for example, if I have a younger crowd, I'll get into more younger R&B music, Beyonce, and those folks who they jive with better, or I'll get into the Afro beats. But if it's an older crowd, I get into older R&B, or sometimes way back when kind of music from my grandfather days. Depends, because sometimes I have seniors here, so it just depends. So I don't stay on one level of music, but I play good and clean music. I'm not even sure what music she wanted to hear, but I didn't even entertain the thought. It was just like, no, I don't do that, because one of the things you'll find is that they want to come and they want to change your music to all that cussing and everything else. So before we have to debate about what type of music you're listening to and what type of music I play here, I would rather not have that discussion. I would rather save us the awkwardness of you telling me, what your music choices are, and me having to ask you if there's cussing in it, and then, you being resentful because I don't want to play your music. So listen, we're not going to do all that, because that's just too much energy, and I don't like my energy being wasted on things like that. I want you to come here and enjoy. And, of course, once she said that they wanted, when she mentioned to me that if I could change the music to something else, and I didn't entertain it, I told her, no, I don't change the music. And I changed the topic because there were other pressing things that were important, such as what they wanted for dinner, what they wanted to drink, and so on. But those things were important. And then also keep in mind, I have other customers here. So to walk in and never been here before and then ask me to change my music, it's just really, really, I don't know what that is, but anyway, it was really good music that was playing too, by the way. And of course, good is relative, but it's also where my regular customers were here and they enjoy the vibe that I have, and I want everybody to come and enjoy the vibes. And I don't play music for me, I play for the crowd. Okay, I enjoy it, but I play for the crowd. And also, I'm building a different culture here. So, don't, I'm not trying to do what they do out on the streets. They do all the Gaza and whoever, the gully and all the craziness out there already. You don't need to come here to hear that. And you're not going to hear that at my venue. Absolutely not. You're going to hear good music and clean music and loving music and music that motivates and music that promotes love and relationships and sexy, and it's just good vibes, and enjoy it. Anyway, so that was part of that last night. But anyway, keeping motivated. So when the customers motivate me, I feel motivated. But there are also those challenges. But it's not a challenge. It's really people's preferences, and she understands what she wanted. Anyway, they stayed for a bit, and then they got up and they left, and that's fine. They actually didn't even have their drinks. One of them complained that the drink wasn't good, so I offered to change it out. I've served that drink well over 100 times, and no one has ever complained. So I figured it wasn't the drink. So because when I asked her to change it out, she said no, it's fine. Anyway, I served the siesta mocktails too. She's like, oh, well, it doesn't taste right. So I said, oh, okay, well, I'll change it out. What's wrong with it? She's like, oh, because she called it a cocktail. I said, well, it's not a cocktail, it's a mocktail, because the cocktail has liquor in it, and you asked for something without liquor. She's like, oh, well, whatever it is, I don't like it. I said, okay, well, would you like me to change it out? Oh, no, I don't want to change it out. Well, of course, she's talking Guyanese or whatever. So I was like, she didn't want to change it out. So I said, okay. I said, listen, if you guys need any more help, let me know. And I always greet my customers with a smile. And anyway, they got up, they walked out, and that was fine with me. It's, they paid, of course, one of the young ladies paid. And that's all that matters, is that as long as you've taken that drink, and as long as you don't want to change it out, right, you have the responsibility to pay for it. And that's what they did, and they left. But my vibe, or this place, isn't for everyone, and that's what I figured out. So it's okay when people don't agree with it, and it's okay if they want to leave. And I haven't had that more than twice here. So and generally it's people that honestly I feel like as though maybe one would want to enjoy it, and the other would, the others would probably want to go to a five corner or a four corner and go drink beers and hear crazy music or whatever, right? To me it's crazy, but to them it's fine. And there's nothing wrong with it. It's just not my vibe. And that's fine. And this, just like this is not their vibe, and that's fine too. We can agree to disagree. So it's not a problem. Anyway, so that's, again, finding motivation. So what else do? I like to take time off sometimes because it's important. So whether I'm traveling or going someplace, or I have to, I go to town and do something for the day, or I go to my brother-in-law's, or, no, I'm thinking go to my aunt's in the country area for probably a week or so, and then come back. Well, I'll leave like a Monday and then come back the Thursday so I can open up by that Thursday night. So maybe I'll take about 3 days or so to go check my aunts who I haven't spent time with in many, many years or decades. So even though they came here and we got to spend some time in the water, and, just they came and for a Valentine event that I held, we just really haven't had that quality time. To sit and get to know one another. So we are going to do that. Well, I'm going to go visit them for a few days, and so I can go to all my aunts' houses and eat food and, talk and celebrate with them, just family and love. All right. What else do I like to do? I like finding me time. Like I like spending time by myself, lighting candles, playing music, drinking a Long Island iced tea. I like doing that. By the time the weekend comes about, when the place is really crowded, by then I feel much more energetic and so on. But mostly it's my prayer life. So I'm not a perfect Christian by any chance, obviously, right? Or maybe obviously isn't so dominant, but um, it's I like praying. I love to be on my knees. I love going before God because I trust Him. I know that He's there. I know that He's guiding me. I know that He's protecting me. I know that He's why I'm as bold as I am and why I'm as ferocious as I am in the things that I want to do, and why my visions are always clear, and why, I can create things the way I do. I know that He is the, foundation of every fiber in me, from my breath to my life period to my energy, to my thought processes. I know that that's Him doing all that. And some people may not believe in God, and that's on them. Believe what you want to. I'm not telling you what to believe. I just know what I have to believe. And I can't see for the life of me in this crazy world why people don't believe in something, in God. Well, I believe in Jesus Christ, period. So then not any God and not all these other gods. I believe in Jesus. That's it. Do I knock anyone else for believing in what they do? No, I don't. That's not on me. That's, not for me to say, and I don't have any authority in that, and I don't pretend to do so. And, I just love being in Christ and coming to my knees and praying and, just trusting that He is going to guide me throughout the day and throughout my life and guiding my family, my children. I stay prayerful. So as a woman who knows how to pray, I'm telling you, it's absolutely important for my mental, my physical, and just me feeling, ready for each and every day, each and every project, right? So thank you so much. Finding motivation, even as I am here in Guyana. And I want to say something else added to that. A lot of times, people will say things like, Guyana, I would never live in Guyana. And I'm going to tell you something. I've lived overseas for 36 years. I've never compared Guyana to where I lived overseas, and I never compared to, overseas to where I live here, to visiting here, or, now that I'm starting to live back here. I compare prices. I compare, the fact that I don't have to pay as much money, but it's two different worlds, completely two different worlds. And I know a lot of folks think that we have, Guyana has come a far way. I've been coming home, like I said, since I was 15, so I know and I've seen the progress. Is it where it needs to be? Is it all up there? No, I don't think so. I think that people are, I don't know, I don't want to say this the wrong way, but I think people are running away, or people who've grown up here as come to see a difference in the way the economy works, in the way the things that they have available to them, the internet, there's different things like the supermarkets, the places to visit, places to go and celebrate at, the social interaction situations, the fact that they learn things from overseas and then they, people bring them down here, or they learn things from the internet and then they repeat it here. So everything is just a rehash of whatever it is that we do in the U.S. and we do in first world countries. And I think that's fine. I don't see anything wrong with it per se. But I also think that there is a trend where people are trying to bash America and all that stuff. And listen, my son is a United States Marine. I will never, ever bash America. Not only that, I've grown up in America, and I know the greatness of it, and I know the beauty of it. And I also know the stress of it, right? So I'm not here to talk bad about America, because I will never, ever, ever do that. That's not what that's not why I'm here. I'll never talk bad about Guyana, because that's not why I'm here either. However, they're two different worlds. And I don't want people to feel like you couldn't come to Guyana and live, because I think that with all the training and all the things that I know and all the things that America has made available to me, I can come here and influence culture. I'm not allowing this culture to tell me who I am. because I already know who I am. The U.S. has made me who I am in many ways as a black woman. And so I'm not sitting up here trying to bash the U.S. or bash America or whatever, just as much as I will never bash Guyana. So I do think that you can come here. I do think that you can bring all your learning, all the culture that you have, or your culture itself from overseas. I think that you can come here and you can impact culture and you can make changes. And I do feel as though there is room and opportunities to help other people learn what it is that they haven't learned. I think the people here are somehow thinking that they actually know a lot of stuff, right? And this is true. They do think so. But what they don't know is that they don't know, they can't know what they don't know. So they've traveled, some people, a lot of people are traveling now. And I think that they feel like as though those travel experiences have taught them what America is. And I've been in America for 36 years and I still can't tell you what America is, and the fascinating lifestyles that people live, and the amount of homes and cities and states, and the amount of money and the amount of greatness in that country. And here you are traveling for a couple of months or a couple of years and you're trying to tell me what America is. And don't do that either. Please don't. Because you're lying to yourself. And if your family happens to be, not so okay with their lifestyles, that's one thing. You can say, all right, well, I went to Brooklyn and my cousin wasn't as well off as she thought she was, or she say she was, or people have bills to pay. That is true. People have a lot of bills to pay, but to somehow feel like you're competing with Americans, or America is here to somehow fall and flounder and be flat on its face and blah 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 blah. Listen, please stop. We all need to stop. We all need to love one another. And, one of the things that I appreciated from back then is grandmothers and aunts and uncles and grandparents who had siblings in the Caribbean, all over the place. And those people appreciated every dime that they got, right? Because before these economies were doing better, it was overseas dollars that actually were significant in making life work for those people who were overseas. Every single barrels that they received, every single thing that they got, they were appreciative. But we have a generation of unthankful people, a whole bunch of them, that feels like as though just because someone didn't give them something, they want to bad talk the United States, or bad talk their family members, or bad talk. And I've seen it on the internet. It's a trend, and why are you coming after America? And you don't even know what America offers. I mean, honestly, why are you doing that? That's really not nice. It's ugly. It's disgusting. It's substandard, and it's not necessary. And just the same way that I would never bash America, I would never bash Guyana either, because Guyana offers its own beauty and its own, own things that we can all learn from in many ways, and we can all embrace, right? So again, impacting the culture here is what I'm here to do. I'm not here to, and I'm here to learn as well, right? But I'm not here to say, oh, well, I need to relearn everything that I've learned. No, America's already taught me what I needed to know, and my success is largely because of all the years that I've spent overseas. So I didn't go to one of the best universities in the world. I didn't become a professor for 20 something years. I didn't do all those things because I sat back in America and didn't do anything. Because the opportunities were there, I was able to do what I could do. Coming back here to Guyana now, I'm able to say, all right, well, I can impact culture, I can impact changes, I can impact my community here. And I don't have to look down at the community. I don't have to say anything bad, but I beg of you, stop trying to dictate or say what America is. Just because we are coming home, it doesn't mean that America has been bad to us. America has been extremely good to me, extremely good to me. And Guyana has been extremely loving to me. And I would love for that relationship to continue to develop rather than us bashing and coming to one another. And that's things, these are all things that keeps me motivated when I see wonderful stories rather than stories of people cussing at each other and talking about one another and this and that. Listen, just because you and your family are feuding, and just because they stop sending you borrows maybe, or just because don't make it seem like everyone is the same, because then us Americans are sitting on the other side saying, okay, well, you're unappreciative of everything that I've done, and so now I'm not motivated for you to come stay with me if you come overseas. I'm not motivated to send you anything. I'm not motivated to give you that phone that you want, or that iPad, or to give your child something or whatever. Listen, people are people. We have feelings. So you sit up there and you talk about people, and then we get hurt, and then we feel like as though, listen, this makes no sense. So I think the two worlds just need to to live together, and just those unappreciated people, this generation of unappreciated people, or who feels like they're somehow privileged to other people's things, needs to stop. You work for what you want, get what you want, and continue to do life that way. Just like all of us Americans, we have to work for what we want, and we have to keep being motivated to do higher and better things. Nothing falls off of a tree, and I'm glad you figured that out. So when you come overseas and you see us working hard, 2 and 3 jobs, all right, some of us, that's because that's because we've been working our butts off so that we can survive. But it doesn't mean that we don't live a good life. It doesn't mean that our life is hard. It just means that that's the American way. And just like I feel like here in Guyana, though, people don't work hard. Honestly, they don't. I work hard in this property every single day. And if I want to get a worker here 1 day or 2 days, I have to, it's hell to get them here. So this culture of being, almost, resistance towards work is really not progressive at all. So, you're sitting up there talking about other people, but then in the meantime, we have, a very, very lazy population. And that's the one thing I can say unequivocally, that there's a lazy population here of people who really feel like they shouldn't have to work. And that's not good. And that they're well deserving of whatever somebody else wants, somebody else should give them. And then that's when they get angry and start talking about all the foreigners. Listen, us foreigners have been working our asses off. We went to good schools, or we just worked hard over time to get our own places, our own monies, our own, everything that we do, raise our children. And so don't try to come at us that way, because we are still human and we still have feelings. And just the same way you want to be treated well when we come home. And remember, there was a time when we used to come home and we all took you out and spent our money and did all that. And now all of a sudden you've become high and lofty and acting like, you're too much for us or whatever it is. And we feel it and we know it. All right. So, we're, some of us are bothered by it. Some of us are not. I'm not bothered by it, because I feel like it's good that people are more independent and that they can do their own thing and they have their own money or whatever. So that's a blessing. So I'm not bothered by it, but some people will be bothered by it. But again, don't go attacking America. All right. And that's what motivates me, when people live together in unity and in love. All right. Okay. Well, thank you. Have a good one. I know I went off on a little spiel, but I think I needed to get that in. And please, for those foreigners who want to come home and live, don't say you can't. Just remember that you're coming with your skill sets, you're coming with your money, you're coming with motivation, you're coming with everything that you've learned overseas, and you can shift culture here. All right. Have a good one. Thank you. And I think I'm going to go take a shower. Yeah, take a bath, actually. All right. Because I've been just lazy all morning and haven't gotten under the water at all. But now it's warmer, so it's good. At least the water will be warmer. Because I don't bathe with hot water. I bathe with the water right out the tank. All right, cool. So thank you. Love you guys. Appreciate you. Thank you for tuning in with me. And have a blessed one. And hopefully you too feel motivated, and you're not laying down and not want to get up this morning or today and get something done that you want to. All right, I'm always trying to get something done, always trying to do something else to elevate myself and to elevate this property. All righty, guys, you take care. Bye bye. Send in love.